Pantoufleee! Hello everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new review concerning the RHM, the Tier 8 tank destroyer of the German tech tree. And there are several things we need to talk about during this review. If you remember correctly, yesterday for the ISU 152 review, I told you I would rather play the RHM than the ISU, and we're gonna see why in this video. The first thing concerning the RHM, and I think everybody knows that because the tank is quite known at this point, is probably the fact that you don't have any armor. You all know that everybody's gonna shoot at you with HE shells, tier 6, tier 7s, tier 8s, tier 9s, everybody. So when you're playing this tank, you need to know one thing, one extremely important thing in my opinion. You always have to assume that people are gonna shoot HE shells at you. Therefore, if you try to poke and you know the guy can't one-shot you with an AP shell, but you know he's gonna kill you with an HE shell, don't try to poke. It's extremely important, or else you're gonna get wrecked for nothing with this tank. That's the first thing. No armor at all. Now, if we take a look at the mobility, you have a good one actually. I really feel like the tank can place itself quite easily. You can play it sneaky. You can hide well, of course, because you have a great camo rating, but overall the mobility is great. You're gonna take your positions fast, and you also have a fully traversable turret. And oh boy, is it a really great thing to have a fully traversable turret, especially on a tier 8 tank when it's carrying that big gun it has. 640 alpha damage. But we're gonna check the statistics real quick so we know what we're talking about. The first thing concerning the gun is probably the fact you have a really bad gun dispersion. As you can see, 0.38, while using the equipment allowing me to reduce the gun dispersion. That's important to notice that, because you need to be fully aimed before shooting, and your aim time is quite a lot. Now, 2.5k damage per minute, which is not the best at tier 8, but still good. Of course, it's still great for a tier 8 tank, so we don't mind. 15.35 reload time, average in the norm, it's average. And the penetration, guys, the penetration, 215 with regular shells and 334 with high explosive shells. Of course, you have heat shells, and when you're playing the RHM with heat shells, you're not gonna bounce, let's face it, except if you shoot at spaced armor or anything like that. And what I love about the RHM is probably the penetration with HE, 85. It's a lot, actually. It's really a lot for these kind of tanks, and especially for German tanks. Usually having 85 millimeters of penetration with HE at tier 8 is probably something the British will have, but definitely not a German, so it's nice to notice. Now, for the average damage, as I already told you, 640 with the regular, 550 with the high explosive, and for the gun elevation and gun depression, 5 degrees of gun depression, which doesn't allow you to take your tanks on ridgeline or anything like that. Don't try peekaboos on mountain, but yeah, overall the tank is not made for that anyway. So now the mobility, the engine, you have a tier 5 engine, but as your tank is extremely lightly armored, it's enough to do the trick. You're gonna go around 35 kilometers per hour when you're using your RHM, so it's enough to be able to do whatever you want. And finally, maybe the all traverse speed, which is extremely good for a tank destroyer, with 56, and you have to remind yourself you have a turret, so it's 56 plus the turret speed of the turret, but as we don't have it in the statistics because the tank is supposed not to have one, we don't know what is the traverse speed of the turret, but overall, a great traverse speed on the whole tank. Now, some quick tips and some tactics to play it. Really simple. You have the best camouflage rating at tier 8, lights included. So, with this tank, it's all about camping at the right time in the right position. You also need to be fully aimed before shooting, or else it's going to be extremely hard for you to penetrate your target. And finally, maybe the last thing to know is that you can still play it aggressively because of your camo. I mean, if you go frontline, but I'm going to show you maybe with a replay after. I hope in the live battle I will fall on a good matchmaking to show you that. But having one of the best camos into the whole game is something extremely crazy, because you can go in the town and take positions that will allow you not to get spotted, but you can still act aggressively. For example, if you're in a town and you're with heavy tanks, you have just to wait for the enemies to shoot at your heavies, you pop out, you shoot your shell, you wait your whole reload. By the time you're completely reloading, by the way your reload is complete, you will not be spotted anymore, and you can try it again. That's what I love to do about my RHM, and it's working pretty fine because I think I have good stats with the tank. Yeah, 2.5k damage. Yeah, I think it's good. It's not the best, but it's good. And that's pretty much how I'm playing the RHM, even if you can still camp and snipe with the tank. One more thing, if you're being pushed, or if you want to push tank destroyers that are turretless, you have a turret, use it, you circle them, you're gonna make it work, don't worry. So yeah, overall that's how I'm playing my RHM. Now let's take a look at how I'm equipping it. I go for the chocolate, protective kit and improved fuel. For the ammunition I go for 16 APs, 8 hits and 6 HEs. And for the equipment I go first for the gun rammer. I don't need extra penetration, so I would rather have my reload time lowered down. After I go for the enhanced gun laying drive, because I told you the aiming time is huge. And finally you can go for the aiming time or the gun dispersion. I would rather go for the gun dispersion because with my aggressive playstyle I'm gonna try some snapshots, and with 0.38 of gun dispersion it's quite hard to have shots done. After I go for the defense system because I'm not gonna ram anybody. After the improved assembly, because of course you don't have armor, so you don't need to strengthen it. The toolbox, because the enhanced track is useless. Finally, the camo net, because as I told you, you need to, you have the best camo in the game, so why not make it even more effective by not moving? And also, the great thing about this tank is that as you have a turret, you don't need to move your tank while selecting your targets. Therefore, your camo net is going to be even more effective. After I go for the improved control to improve my all traverse speed, because overall my mobility is already enough. So I would rather have more traverse speed in order for me to circle faster, or to allow myself to relocate quite easily, to turn, etc, etc. And finally, the consumable delivery system. I have 15.35 seconds of reload, so I don't need I will not have time to shoot twice by the 30% duration of consumable, so I go for the cooldown speed instead. That's pretty much how I'm playing the tank. If I sum up the characteristics, no armor, great gun, but a great gun that has really bad gun dispersion, so make sure to aim. And great camo rating. That's pretty much all you have to know about the RHM. Now let's not lose too much time and jump directly into the live battle. Alright, so now we go for the live battle. The cool thing about the RHM is probably that it doesn't depend, its playstyle doesn't change if you're bottom tier or top tier. Here we're top tier, so it should be fine, and we have a pretty good matchup and pretty good map to show you how to play it. You know what, after this one I'll have a subscriber replay that shows you how to play the tank while being at long distance. So I'm gonna try to show you how effective the tank can be if you try to play it a little bit aggressively. So yeah, we're gonna try this. We go straight with our heavies. And it's simple what I'm about to show you. You need to use your camo rating. Your camo is your best ally while playing with the RHM. See, we still struggle a little bit getting shots done and getting come on. I can probably sneak a shot on the T44 or someone else. Let's try. Alright, cool. See, the camo rating. I mean, I'm spotted, but that has to be expected, but at least I managed to get my shot done on the Tiger 2. And now I can go all my way up to the other side here. It seems like they have nobody. I'm gonna wait for the Type 62 to probably spot something. Alright, the T44 is not gonna believe what he's gonna take. Oh, come on, why was I unlucky like this? Okay, let's wait a little bit here. Is the T44 gonna be scared, it seems? Yeah. Yeah. I can probably sneak an HE shot on the Pantera or the T44. I'm gonna try one of them. Can we sneak a shot? Yeah, I told you, the gun dispersion is really bad with the RHM. If you don't fully focus, that's gonna be a nightmare for you to penetrate. Okay, Pantera shot pretty much all his shells on our little friend. Am I gonna poke again? Yes, of course. We poke, we sneak a shot, we go back. And see? That's what the camo rating is all about. With every single tank in the game, I would have been spotted by the Pantera before shooting. Here it was not the case. And the good thing with the 15 seconds of reload is that if you stay behind, now I think my camo is reset, so I can try to poke again. And sneak a shot on the Pantera once again. Problem is 0.38 of gun dispersion. That's what I'm talking about. 6, 5. Maybe if I have a big roll, I'll be able to kill the Pantera and advance. Okay, Pantera moved. Okay, it seems to be a tough one here. Tough one. Maybe we can kill the T-44 or the Pantera if they try something, but it seems like they don't want to. Come on. They're all one-shot though. It's not over. For the moment we're clean. I'm just gonna wait for them to cross here. It's useless to take any risks if I don't need to. Come on, boys. Let's wait for you. I don't know if the guy on the hill, the Tiger P, is gonna spot them for me. Yeah, he did. Nice. Okay, let's pop some adrenaline. Waiting for the 5-2U to kill the T-44. Nice. It's not over. 5, 4, 3. Oof. Okay. Am I gonna try it? Wrong idea. And I have the Tiger 2 coming for me. No. See the lack of gun depression? That's what I'm talking about. Here I had 5 degrees and just look at how I struggled getting my shots done on the guy. Okay, lucky bounce. Lucky. I'm probably gonna take another one before I can escape. Oh no. I managed to escape. Anyway, nice. Okay, come on. Let's help the 252U if it's possible. Okay, good. We go for an HE. The Yak Panther missed us. I don't think he could have one-shot us. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, good. Okay, it's over for them. It's over, we won. Now, I'm gonna go for an AP probably on that T28 HTC. Where's the boy? See, we managed to play a little bit aggressively. I'm not talking about extremely aggressively as well. As hell. But, see? We still managed to do something. And we didn't really camp. That's how you want to play your RHM if you want to play it aggressively. And it's not that aggressive. It's middle aggressive. Let's say average aggressive. You stick with your team, you wait for them to take shots for you, you try to sneak behind using your camo, and you're all done. That's the first game. Now let's go back to the sub replay. So here we have the pleasure of watching Techie Wet playing his RHM, and here he's gonna demonstrate to you the playstyle of being sneaky, camping, etc. That's still an amazing game, and he played extremely well. That's why I'm showing it to you. Because when I do reviews, I like to show you different kind of playstyles you can use with tanks. Of course, not all tanks can use different playstyle, but for the RHM, it's the case, at least for me. So, he's waiting with its great camo on. He shouldn't be spotted even if he tries to shoot. The problem here is that from the middle, there is nobody spotting for him, unfortunately. And he knows that, so he decides to move a little bit and try to help his team on the town. See, people are crossing, people manage to climb the whole way, all way up to the hill. But it's not gonna stop our little friend. Boom, first derp on the Tiger 1. Of course, at this distance, nobody is gonna spot him, which is a cool thing. He just has to stay in his spot and wait for people to get crushed. So he goes for a second shot. Unfortunately, he got trolled by the gun dispersion. As I already told you, 0.38 is not the best gun dispersion ever. Now, maybe he can sneak a shot on this tier 7. If I was him, I would have shot with HE, and that's exactly what he's trying. Is the shot gonna make it? He goes for a shot, and unfortunately, got trolled by the gun. That's the most frustrating thing with the RHM when you're camping. You have to wait 15 seconds of reload just for you to get your shots missing because you don't have an ISU. And that's the main difference between the ISU 152 and the RHM, I think. With the ISU 152, you're gonna have great shots because your gun dispersion is lower. It's like 0.34, 0.33. Oof, 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 that would be juicy if I managed to penetrate the ISU. Can he penetrate the ISU with an HE shell? Boom! See, that's the strength of HE shells on the RHM. 85 millimeters of penetration. You're welcome. You destroy everybody and you don't have to fear anyone. Problem is, his team is in really... He's struggling. The team is struggling. He's struggling, of course, but it's not gonna stop our friend to just simply destroy everybody. It's all about camping from the bottom here. Even if he got spotted, you still have one of the best camos. He doesn't need to move, and he doesn't feel the urge to. He's just gonna wait for them. They are all gonna come into his sights and his range. So why should he move, you know? He's just waiting. The Black Prince is doing the mistake. He goes for a shot and it was 800 damage thanks to the fact that he had the high roll skill on. Okay, HE now. We all know the Black Prince lower part of the hull is extremely weak and derp. It's done. It's done. It's done. The back of the Black Prince is extremely weak though. Now, can he maybe sneak a shot on the VK? Let's see. It's all about waiting for your reload to be complete. You shoot, you go back, you wait for your camouflage to come back, and derp once again. And that's exactly what he's doing. Now he's a little bit in a bad situation, because if the Martian decides, the VK-168 decides to just see him, he's in the trouble. But it seems like the Martian doesn't care. The Martian really wants to get the guy to the top of the hill, which allows him to just take a hit shell, 334 millimeters of penetration, go straight into that poor AT, and the AT didn't have a single chance to bounce this shell. Of course, here you need to take precautions. When you're in this kind of game, he already did a great game, it's already an ace tanker, but why not go for a little bit more damage. He needs to be careful about the Yak Panta, because even if the guy is probably not gonna be able... Well, lucky shot. Don't try that with your RHM, guys. Don't try that. Usually if you try that, it's not gonna make it. But yeah, he needs to be careful about the Yak Panta, because I want to remind you one thing. You have an extremely weak tank regarding HE shells. Probably the Yak Panther 2 can, if not one-shot him, extremely damage him and not allowing him to maybe kill the VK. But it's not gonna happen. Hit shell, boom, straight on the side of the turret. Of course, VK has a straight turret, so if you angle it just a little bit, you're gonna penetrate. Now, he doesn't care anymore. He only has to go on the Yak Panta. He tries his luck. Is he gonna be able to destroy the guy? He goes for an HE to be sure, and derp, it's over. 6.8k damage, 4 kills. What a game. Quite lucky that the enemy team was retarded, because yeah, we have to say it when it's the case. The enemy team was composed of only bots, because if I was them, I would have rushed the RHM in the first place. I wouldn't have cared about the medium on the hill. But it allowed him to do one of the best games I've ever seen in the RHM, so just for that, congrats. And yeah, pretty much, you see the two playstyle. Passive-aggressive while playing with your heavy tanks, or simply camping from the bottom of the map. Everything is working, and that's why the RHM is quite popular. Hope you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share, and I'm gonna see you soon for a new video.